Our next guest is a true example of a triumph over tragedy. Take a look.
Hi, my name is Femita Ayanbeku Bradley. I'm a three-time Paralympian, a wife, and a proud mom. At the age of 11, I lost my right leg in a car accident when my sister and I were ejected from the back of a station wagon. And being a sixth grader without a leg presented challenges of its own, including being bullied. The same classmates who knew me before my accident were now afraid of who I had become. So I hid my prosthetic leg from the world. Because if the people who knew me were scared of how I looked, what would strangers think of me? But by the age of 18, I decided to make a change. I found a new confidence within myself and was no longer hiding from the world. And at the age of 23, I discovered my love for running. I am now the fastest female amputee in the United States, holding the 100-meter record, and a world's 2019 bronze medalist. I didn't set out to become a professional runner, and there were a lot of obstacles to overcome. But as an 8-time national champion, mom to my beautiful 1-year-old daughter, Nyla, and a new one on the way, there is still more to come.
You've overcome so much, Femita. Can you take us back to the day of your accident?
So we were actually going to the movies. It was July 2003. My cousin was driving. It was 3 of my cousins and 3 of my sisters and myself. So it's a lot of people in the car.
Yeah.
My cousin lost control of the car, and me and my sister, who were in the back, we were ejected out of the car. We always say that God opened that door, because had he not opened the door, we would have went through the glass. And so we ended up on opposite sides of the highway, actually. And my sisters had to get out, and they had to literally come and find us. I remember waking up in the hospital, and I didn't know what had happened, right? And so my arms were all bandaged up. I broke both of my arms. My leg was amputated, but I didn't know at the time. And so one day it was really hot, and I told my dad, I'm like, oh, it's hot. Can you take the covers off of me? And it was just like a moment of silence, because he was like, we have to tell her.
That's when you learned that your leg was amputated.
So that's when I found out. He told me that it was so damaged in the accident that had they not cut it off, I would have died. So it was cutting off the circulation to the rest of my body and all that type of stuff. And so that is kind of how it all came together.
And you're still here, which is the
Still
blessing.
here, thank God.
My goodness. And now we perceive you as a superhero, because you went to the Paris Paralympics,
I sure
which
did.
is amazing this past summer. What made that possible for you?
The support, of course, of my family and my friends, but one amazing organization that I hold very close to my heart is the For Mothers organization, For All Mothers. Alicia Montagna started that organization, and that was amazing. She was giving out grants to a lot of female athletes that were going to the games. And so this was the first time in history that they had a nursery.
Come on.
In the village for the Olympians and Paralympians.
That is amazing.
Yes. And so, first time in history, very historic moment. And so she gave us grants to be able to bring our family. So my daughter was there, my husband was there, and they were there for the whole 2 weeks. I was breastfeeding. So
In the midst of all of this?
in the midst of all of this,
Oh
my
my God.
daughter was 6 months old, one of the youngest babies to be in the village, 6 months old, and she was able to be in Paris with me the entire time.
That is beautiful. Have you ever met Alicia Montagna?
We've conferenced on Zoom.
Yeah, on Zoom.
I gotta meet her in person.
Okay, you want to meet in person?
I need to meet her in
Alicia,
person.
come on out here. How does it feel to finally meet Alicia?
It feels amazing. I really thought you were joking when you said she was here.
Surprise.
But I'm so happy. Like, I've been so inspired by her. I'm actually competing in 2 weeks, pregnant, and she is my inspiration.
2 weeks. Wow, and you create the bronze medal and the founder of For All Mothers, which is major. Why was that important to you to create?
Well, you know, I faced discrimination in my career for wanting to pursue my motherhood and my career at the same time. Yeah. This is me running at 8 months pregnant. I ran with my daughter at USA Nationals. After being the 5-time national champion, deciding I also wanted to pursue having my family and continuing my career, and I was essentially told that it wasn't going to be possible. So what I did was I stepped on that start line at Nationals to show what it looked like to be a woman in my career track and to help break down the barriers for women like myself and for those to come after me.
Talk about breaking them down. Both of you are trailblazers in your field. What is next?
For me, there's competition in a couple weeks.
Yes, yes.
But I'm actually due in June, at the end of June, so baby girl is on her way, yes. But I'm definitely getting ready for LA 2028. I'm excited because my kids will be old enough to actually retain that information and see their mom doing amazing things.
That's exciting.
So I'm getting ready for that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Big thing.
Yeah.
Alicia?
You know, with our nonprofit organization, For All Mothers, our whole goal in the next 4 years is to continue to support wonderful athletes like Femita. You know, we have our pushes for contractual language that help break down barriers for athletes. So we push for MDBs, players associations, brands, sponsors to be able to have within their contractual language things like pregnancy, postpartum, and maternity leave within them, because when I was competing and pushing for these things, they weren't able to, or they wouldn't actually put them within their contracts. And so many athletes were not able to pursue their careers after having their children. For me, I had to essentially continue to show up to the start line and the finish line, do 10 times more after having my daughter. From what you saw there, I did end up winning nationals at 6 and 10 months postpartum.
Come on.
You know, the big thing for us is to remember that this isn't just about sports. It is about continuing to change the landscape for women in the workplace across all industries. And we get to,
Set the tone.
we get to set the tone, and we get to use our podium moments as ones that are podium moments for all mothers.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
This is major. Well, we want to help kick off your Mother's Day celebration, so we want to give you some flowers to kick it off. Happy Mother's Day, ladies.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. Thank you. You guys are amazing.